My name is Matthew Rosin. I'm a senior at West Texas A&M, and I decided to interview Michael Cole for this interview project. Michael, he also goes by Mike, is from New York. He's been with Genesis Rehabilitation for 12 years now, and he serves as the Clinical Operations Area Director for them. Mike has been a physical therapist for 12 years total, all with the same company, and he's rose from a staff physical therapist to a facility director, and now he's the clinical operations area director. I chose to interview Mike for this project because our career paths are very similar. He came as a traveling therapist to Texas from New York, and then became the director, and that's similar to what I did. I moved down here as a traveling therapist from Wisconsin, and now I'm the facility director. Mike because he's been a professional mentor to me. He's given me great advice, and I've kind of followed in his footsteps. Throughout the interview, a few questions stood out to me. The first one, I asked him what his major responsibilities are for his job. He went on to say that he oversees 16 total buildings in Texas, anything from staffing to dealing with HR issues, and then maximizing patient outcomes by ensuring that the facilities are uh, continuing to be efficient and productive. Mike also believes that developing relationships and rapport with not only his customers but his staff help him do or complete his goals for his buildings. Me to the next question that really stood out to me. That was, what do you do differently from other people that are in the same position as you? Mike states that being an active listener and his problem-solving skills are two things that really set him apart from other area directors. He believes in being actively engaged and developing relationships with both staff and customers. Other thing that really stood out to me was, what is your procedure for keeping track of items? Mike says that he does handwritten notes, does lists, and then his use of Google Calendar is incredible. He said without it, he wouldn't be able to survive the work week. He believes that following up with emails, sending emails to his staff, just saying, hey, do you guys have this down or do you need more clarification, is really important to developing those relationships and ensuring that he's being efficient. The question that kind of stood out to me was, what factors other than pay do you consider to be important? Mike said job satisfaction and active engagement with staff is really important to him. So he's a member of committees. These are tasked with engaging employees to help with retention. He said another thing that really drives him is budgets, making sure that he's able to hit those marks that his other bosses set for him. Or question that really stood out to me was, how do you go about developing the relationships or the rapport with individuals? Mike said it's critical, very important to develop this. He develops them on a professional level as well as tries to get a little personal. He has his teams write likes and dislikes, and then he tries to buy small gifts for these individuals to kind of show them that he really is engaging with them and understanding who they are and what kind of drives them. The thing that I learned from my interview with Mike is that developing relationships and being an active listener are important. They help you team unity to ensure efficient results and effective results. A quote that Mike gave me was, the development of interpersonal relationships between staff and bosses are important in developing increased team communication and reduced conflict. Overall, the interview was great. Mike provided some great input. He answered my questions efficiently. He's a great communicator, so that allowed us to get through these questions and um, it really helped me understand, where he's coming from and why he does what he does. You know, I found to be pretty remarkable from Mike is his ability to be an active listener and to develop these relationships. That's one thing that's challenging for me. Sometimes I tend to just stay professional, business oriented, and I don't develop those personal relationships with my staff. So that's something I would really like to work on that I could gain from Mike. What I ask you guys is, how do you develop these relationships, and are they important even? Guys, thank you for your time. Take care and have a good day.